Please don't record me though.
Well, you walk towards the camera, so...
I'm not walking towards it, I'm walking my direction.
Well, fair, but you did talk to me, didn't you?
Well, that's fine.
Morning everybody, and welcome back to the channel. How's everybody doing? I'm down in my home city of Sheffield today, having a look round. I thought, the channel's been going for a few weeks now, let's go and have a look and see what Sheffield's all about. And, you know, it's one of the greenest cities in the country, I think. The greenest, if not one of the greenest. I've been born here, brought up here, married here, still live here, and it's a great place to live, but it has changed an awful lot over the years. So I thought, let's come down and see what sort of changes there's been over the past years and decades, and also a little bit about the history of the place. So please, if you do enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything, remember. When you click that subscribe button, I know some people think it costs them something. It doesn't cost you a thing. So please do that one big favour, and that would be really, really appreciated. Just crossing a busy road here, but yeah, if you could do that one big favour, that would be absolutely fantastic. And we will catch you soon, so see you in a bit. Now I'm stood here at the bottom of a place called the Moor, and the Moor stretches right up as far as you can see into the distance. We're going to have a walk up there in a bit, but just at the moment.
Really good, because I want to invest in one. Please don't record me though.
Well, you walk towards the camera, so...
I'm not walking towards it, I'm walking my direction.
Well, fair, but you did talk to me, didn't you?
Well, that's fine. Oh, my dear. I'm saying about you.
So anyway, like I was saying, so that was the Moor, and in 1981, this big monolith of a building started to go up towards the sky, and as you can see, it's quite a fair-sized building. It's a big monolith, really, isn't it? And it's absolutely massive, and it was built for the manpower services, which was a government funded department around about the late 70s, early 80s, and it basically it was to help employment and the training within employment, and it sort of went on for a few years, but it sort of got disbanded after a while, and the department's obviously left, and there's just one or two officers left in the place now, but yeah, it's an absolutely massive building. It used to be all open down here. It used to be through those gates there. The road used to come right up from this bit and continue right up, like I said, up the top of the Moor up there. So anyway, let's go and have a look up there. Now, my family has a history of saw manufacturing in Sheffield. It goes back hundreds of years, although not anymore, unfortunately. And that place down there, Decathlon, or where Decathlon is, we used to have a road down there and some little buildings, and it was actually called Davenport Lane, which is my surname, which is quite sweet. And it's the road itself isn't there anymore. It was exactly where Decathlon is, but you know, obviously things change and time moves on and everything. But yeah, it's quite interesting looking back at your family history. My daughter did most of that, actually. So we're actually on the foot of the Moor now, and this was pedestrianised in around about 1979, I think it was, something like that. And it's just been actually further redeveloped. A lot of the standard shops are down here. You've got the market here, as you just saw. There was a stall down there where that nice young lady was having a chat with me, and you've got Poundland here, Sports Direct, and yeah, it used to be absolutely chock-a-block with cars and buses and everything like that before the early 1980s, but since it was pedestrianised, obviously it's changed everything. And this store just here, Atkinson's, this has been here absolutely decades. It's one of the few remaining department stores that we have in Sheffield now, and it's a nice store inside, actually. It's all right, but yeah, you know, a lot of the others I'll show you in a bit, where Debenhams used to be, John Lewis and everything. They're no more, unfortunately, in Sheffield. Well, a lot of them are no more anywhere, are they? Really. We've got the market here. This market used to be down at Haymarket, but they moved it down to the Moor in 2013. Yeah, let's go and have a look at the market anyway. So yeah, this was opened in 2013. And as I said, it used to be down in the Haymarket area, which we'll get down to eventually. I may have to split this video into two. We'll see how time goes. I've always found them interesting places, markets. They're full of different characters and everything. So you've got all the usual stuff, probably. More often than not you get mobile phone shops. That's one of the things that's new to markets really, I suppose, over recent years. Never used to get that decades ago. But you've still got your usual, you know, toy shops and pet shops, and you've got the cafes down here. And it's not as big as it used to be. When it was down Haymarket, you had two markets actually, Castle Market and also the Sheaf Market. And they were both quite extensive markets. But I don't know whether the council felt that there wasn't much of a market, if you'll excuse the pun, for markets of that size anymore. So they decided to amalgamate them both into the one down here. There's a certain atmosphere in markets, aren't there? They've just got that certain atmosphere about them, which I quite like actually. And we're coming over to this part here, which is more of the food items. You get your fruit and veg here, and you'll get your fish stalls and your dry goods, butchers. And yeah, it's a brilliant atmosphere. There's a monkey up there, look. Quite cool that. So yeah, you still got all your stalls, quite a few butchers actually. Quite a few butchers all together, all competing against one another. There's quite a few people in as well today. So yeah, I think one of the main reasons they moved the market down to the bottom of the moor was because they wanted to redevelop the Haymarket area. And it's called Castlgate actually. And the actual castle is down there, what we used to have in Sheffield. So Sheffield's been going since around about the sort of 800s AD, and when William the Conqueror came there was lots of rebellions by the Saxons against them, and the Normans built the castle in Sheffield like they did in many other places. And unfortunately it doesn't stand anymore, but the foundations are still there. So what the Sheffield Council wanting to do was to open them up to the public. Now that's still an ongoing thing. Nothing's been finalised on that yet, but they have been working on it. I know Wessex Archaeology have been looking at the castle foundations and sort of you know, uncovering them all and everything. And I think the council's wanting to actually show them off at some point. But like I said, nothing's been finalised on that. But who knows what will happen in the future on that one. You have to excuse my voice today a little bit as well. I've had this bit of a bad cold for the last week or so, and it's really starting to act me off at the moment. But we push through things, don't we? There's still lots of shops shut though. You know, we've got the old Burtons and Dorothy Perkins here, which is all shut. But you can see how they've redeveloped the Moor. There is actually a new cinema just down there, which I was going to go into, but we've passed it now. Or is it up here? Oh no, sorry, it's there. It's there. But yeah, it's just an entrance to a cinema, really. It's not often I actually come down. To be fair, I only come down to the city centre when I go out drinking at night to one or two rock bars in town, you know. I never come down, and it's an eye-opener for me, really, to see what it's actually like. Since COVID times, just haven't really been bothered about coming. And here's the old Debenhams store. Obviously they closed down, so that's all just left empty at the moment. But it's just, you know, the high street's just not the same as it used to be. Just not the same at all. And it's the same in many towns, I know. So many closed shops that it all just looks so depressing, isn't it? Yeah, it's really depressing. I always remember just down this road here, just where that bus is going past now, around about here somewhere, there used to be a shop called Redgate. It was a massive toy shop, and it absolutely brilliant. I always remember it as a kid. And it was an absolutely fantastic toy shop. It used to sell all sorts of stuff in there. I used to love going in there as a kid. But that closed down a number of years ago, really, and yeah, it never seemed quite the same since. But yeah, really enjoy going in that as a kid. Brilliant place. So there's the Moor down there. We're now on an area called Pinstone Street, which, as I said, you know, buses and cars used to come all the way up here, and cars and buses still do through this bit, but it's mainly one way. And as you can see, they're redeveloping all this to some degree. I don't know exactly what they're doing in this particular bit, but they have redeveloped all this area as well, which is quite interesting. So this area has been redeveloped over the last few years. There used to be some interesting old shops up here, actually. Just round here. This is the old Cambridge Street area, and they've built all these new buildings, which they do actually look quite smart, to be fair. Well, yeah, this is another area that's really changed for me. I just, you know, it looks totally different to me nowadays. It really does. And as I said, you know, this is probably, since COVID times, this is probably about third or fourth time I've been down during the daytime. And you know, it's as amazing for me to see the changes as it possibly is for some of you guys. It really is. Now, as I was saying earlier, Sheffield's got a really rich history in various different things. I mean, it was the first football club in the UK, Sheffield FC. That was the very first football club that we had. Somewhere around about 1857 that was started, and we've got two football teams now, obviously Sheffield Wednesday and Sheffield United. And after the Normans I was talking about earlier, with the rebellions and everything, they built the castle, and whenever around about the 1400s people started making cutlery, and then in about 1600 a group formed called the Hallamshire Cutlers, I think it was, and they wanted to sort of make all the cutlery that was being produced of really good quality to rival London, because London was the big area there for cutlery, and the Hallamshire Cutlers wanted it to rival London. So yeah, that's what they did. And also saw making as well became a big thing. My family has a big history in saw making. In fact, I've managed to pick up a couple of old Davenport saws, which I was really pleased about. And And then, yeah, around about the 1800s, the Industrial Revolution, obviously Sheffield played a massive part in the Industrial Revolution with the steel industry. And of course, you know, Sheffield's always been famous for its Sheffield steel and its cutlery, obviously. And most of that's gone now. Most of that's gone, but well, yeah, he's got a really interesting history of Sheffield. And as I said earlier, it just doesn't seem to get the recognition it deserves, which is a weird one. So we're actually here in a place called Barker's Pull. So this is the top of the old, as it was, Cambridge Street. And you've got Division Street up there, which is quite popular with students and the sort of shops that you know, you might be able to get your old 70s style clothes, retro clothes and vintage clothes as they call them. And then you've got the City Hall here, which has a lot of different gigs of various descriptions. So yeah, very popular place. It looks a lot bigger, well, it is a lot bigger inside than it actually looks from outside. So yeah, nice little area. This building at one beat used to be a cinema. Oh no, sorry, it was that one down there. That one used to be a cinema. It used to be the Gaumont, I think. From what I recall, this was John Lewis, just here on the right here. Yeah, that was John Lewis, which you know, Sheffield was extremely disappointed when they shut this down. It was a flagship store, and they actually closed it. Incredible. I'll just show you a quick shot of that office building over there. That used to be a nightclub called Josephine's, which is actually where myself and my good lady met a long, long time ago. And yeah, it used to be a really good nightclub actually. It was in the days when you used to have to wear a jacket and tie to get in, and not anymore. But yeah, it was like everywhere back in the late 70s, early 80s. You had to wear a jacket and tie, trousers, shoes, or they wouldn't let you in. They actually wouldn't let you in. I know for a lot of young people that might seem incredible nowadays, but well, that's how it used to be. So we're now on an area which is at the top of Pinstone Street, and as you can see along here, it's all been closed off again. This used to be open to traffic pre-Covid times, and then during Covid times they decided in their wisdom to close all this off, which they had plans on doing anyway at some point, but they thought they'd bring the plans forward because of Covid and make it a pedestrianised area. And a lot of the shops just went. And as you can see, there's some of them still are closed now, in fact probably most of them, and it's a real shame. Again, I don't know why the council decided to do that particularly, but yeah, who knows what happens in the council chambers, eh? I have no idea. But let's have a wander down here anyway, and we'll have a look at the newly revamped Peace Gardens. Well, I say newly revamped, they've been revamped for 20 odd years. They actually redesigned these Peace Gardens around about the turn of the century, sort of late 90s, early 2000s. And yeah, they've done a good job of them actually. I quite like them. I thought at first that the old Peace Gardens look better, but after looking at old pictures, I'm not entirely sure that I agree with that. So yeah, the Peace Gardens are absolutely full of pigeons. Look at the pigeons down here, absolutely loads of them. It doesn't help when people feed them really. But yeah, they're quite nice Peace Gardens. It's a bit too much concrete for me, I think. But Yeah, it's how most of the cities are going, really, isn't it? A great area here where the kids like to play in these new fountains, which is pretty cool. We've got the old town hall up there, which is still standing. I mean, you still get married there from what I believe. And they did actually round this area just here. They had at one point a building which was an extension to the tower. It's called the Egg Box because it literally did look like an egg box. And then they pulled it down after a few years because I don't know, they just kind of re-centralised things and what have you. And it was a bloody awful looking building. Whoever designed that building, I don't know. I hope they lost the job because they didn't deserve to keep it after that. They really didn't. So this is the new quarter just down here next to the Peace Gardens, and it's basically walking back down towards the Moor a little bit, but yeah, they created one or two restaurants around here. Again, you've got these bloody ugly barriers here though. It's honestly, it's a real shame how they end up putting these barriers all over the place. It really is, but sign of the times, guys, isn't it? It really is a sign of the times. But they've really developed this area of the city. With Sheffield has always been quite a sort of low to the ground buildings, and they seem to be going higher and higher with the buildings nowadays, which is unusual for this city, as I said. And we'll just have a walk down here. Now, this is an interesting building. It's what's affectionately termed the Cheese Grater for obvious reasons. And yeah, it's actually a multi-storey car park. It's quite a weird one as well. I went in it once, and you just go round. You know how normally when you go up in a multi-storey, and you sort of drive along a bit and turn a sharp corner, and then drive along a bit and turn another sharp corner, and you keep going up these ramps. This one's just one continual ramp in like a spiral as it goes up and down. You get dizzy driving around it. It's really, really unusual. Now in the distance down there you can see the Winter Gardens, which I think they opened in 2003. Yeah, I can't exactly remember. I'm just having a quick look on my phone. Can't remember exactly when they were built. If I can find my notes. Yeah, 2003, that was it. So that's when the Winter Gardens were opened. And yeah, we'll have a little look in there. So here we are at the Winter Gardens, and quite an impressive sight from outside. It's basically a massive greenhouse, and as I said, it was built in 2003, and yeah, quite a popular attraction actually. And this is just to the side of the Peace Gardens. You can see the Peace Gardens down there with the town hall where we just were a bit back. So yeah, they're just at the side of them, and a massive Novotel just here as well. Well, let's go and have a look inside. And there are some signs knocking about, but it just basically tells you about the plants. I'm not going to stand here reading that. You can pause the video if you really want to read it. I'll get a bit closer in for you, just in case you want to read about that particular plant, but I don't. I've got better things to do in my life than stand reading a sign like that. Well, yeah, very interesting place. What they built here in the middle of the city, absolute middle of the city. It's actually attached to a museum as well, about some of the history of Sheffield, actually, cutlery and what have you. So we'll have a look in there in a while. An absolutely massive whatever it is up there. I could tell you the name any other time, but the name escapes me. Yeah, it'll be popping through the roof at some point, that one, won't it? I'm just looking at the stone here. It says opened by Her Majesty the Queen, accompanied by the Duke of Edinburgh, 22nd of May 2003. So yeah, I don't remember that actually. I don't remember them coming to open it. So that's something I've learned. I don't remember that at all. Yeah, so this is actually the Millennium Gallery, which, as I said, a little bit of a museum type area. Interesting statue made out of cutlery there. Look, that's amazing, that, isn't it? That really is good. Excellent. There's some shops here selling various things, cards and some gifts. Anybody remember that guy? We'll continue around the shop area just for now. We'll just have a quick look in one or two of the museums. Just have a quick look around this exhibition, guys. Yeah, some very unusual artistry in there. And this one's more to do with cutlery, I think. We'll just have a quick look in. I'm not going to talk because it's all quite quiet, so we'll keep shush. So I've just come out back into the open, and this is the other side of the Millennium Gallery, and it's also home to the libraries. The general library was down there. I don't know whether that's still there actually. I can't remember whether the opened or whether it's still open or whether it's closed. That, but there's the Lyceum, which is a ye olde theatre, and then there's the Crucible, which is home, as many of you will know, to the Snooker World Championships. And in fact, I think Barry Hearn is looking at, is it Barry Hearn? Looking at moving it to somewhere else to give more prize money to the players, but it'll be a shame if Sheffield loses it. It's been the home of snooker for decades, since, I don't know, I'm only guessing here, but I'm thinking the late 70s. So it'll be a real shame if Sheffield loses that. Well, yeah, quite a nice little square. Obviously something going off at the theatres at the moment, with the lorries being parked up there. That big building there is actually residential flats. The tall one there in the middle of the screen. I think it's currently the tallest building in Sheffield, but I think there's been plans put forward to have one even taller. I can't remember how many floors that one is. It's possibly something like 33 floors or something. But yeah, I think there's one going to be something like 35 or 36. From what I was reading anyway, that's what I remember. So yeah, as I said earlier, the buildings in Sheffield are getting taller and taller and taller. And let's carry on walking up this way. So this is heading, I'll get our bearings right. So we've just come from the Millennium Gallery, and we're coming over to Fargate here. Now Fargate was pedestrianised, I thought the Moor was pedestrianised before Fargate, but it's the other way around. Fargate was the first of the pedestrianised areas in Sheffield, and it was pedestrianised in 73. So yes, it was actually pedestrianised in 73, and it's been through various iterations of pedestrianisation. That's the back end of the town hall just up there, as you can see. Nice cobble street this, actually. I like the look of this street. It's a nice bit of a cobble street. But yeah, they seem to have never stopped messing about with Fargate. They've just done a latest revamp. It must have been revamped about 10 times in its history, and they never seem to be happy with it. They're constantly faffing about with it. And this latest one started off at something like, it's going to cost them 13 million or something like that, and it's more than doubled in the time they've been doing it. And they've been ages actually doing it, absolutely ages. No, I've not seen it since it's been done. So let's go and see what all these millions of pounds spent on it have actually done for it. So I've just had a quick look, and according to what's on Google, it's actually cost 14.3 million, I think it said. And if you include the high street, which is a little bit further down, it's actually costing 33 million. And this is what we've got for you guys. Yeah.